Hello, brothers and sisters. We're very happy to welcome you to a new edition of our show titled Speak of Africa. We have a whole lot of news for you as usual, but before we begin, I want to say thank you very much to all our subscribers. Thank you very much to all our viewers. Thank you very much to all our advertisers. Without you, we would not really have a great show as this show, okay? So we must say thank you once again. Before we begin the show of today, I'd like to thank those who listen to what we ask you to do. We've been telling you that for a while now, YouTube has been censoring us, making it difficult for a lot of people to watch this show. But we ask you to bypass what YouTube is doing. We ask you to share this show with many of your friends and family members. A lot of you did that. As a result, we started getting so many people watching us, okay? So that's the only way we can bypass the censorship of YouTube. When you take this show and you share it with so many friends and family members of yours, you see that it will help us to bypass all the censorship. Because the way the YouTube algorithm is designed is based on the more people watch a show, the more YouTube recommends that video to other people. So because you did that, we're able to play games with the algorithm of YouTube. So thank you very much. For the show of today, we want you to also continue sharing the show with many people in your family. Share it with many friends, okay? Even your co-workers. Let them know that there's a new show in town. People should watch it so that they can empower themselves and liberate Africa. For the show of today, before we begin, we'd like to say coronavirus is real. As I'm talking to you, this is a mask. I try to respect all the rules. I wear this mask, then I also try to maintain social distancing, okay? So I'm asking you to do the same thing. So COVID-19 is real. In the United States of America, for example, President Donald Trump is in the hospital today, okay? He's in the hospital because he's not been paying attention to this virus. He thought it was a hoax. A China hoax, but it's not a hoax. Don't listen to anybody who says it's a hoax. Coronavirus is real, so take it seriously. Don't play with it, because if you play with it, it may be a death sentence. You don't want it to be a death sentence, so don't play with it. Accept it. Know that it's a serious problem. Protect yourself. Protect yourself. So once again, we say protect yourself. Now that we've warned you about coronavirus, we can proceed with the show. For the show of today, we want to begin by looking at Africa. We love Africa and we wish Africa could do better. We'll start the show of today by going to Ambazonia. Ambazonia is the territory that used to be known as Southern Camerouns. For over 4 years now, there's a civil war going on in this part of the world. Why? It is because the people of Southern Camerouns were tricked into a political union with La Republique du Cameroun. When they decided that they were tired of marginalization, La Republique started declaring war on these people. We have pictures. You can even see the genesis of this problem. How did it begin? After over 30 years of marginalization, lawyers, teachers decided to protest against marginalization. The government of Mr. Paul Biya responded with ferocious brutality. They started beating people, they started killing people. Students were not spared in their dorms. They were dragged out and beaten. Lawyers were kicked like people who were not important in society. As a result, the people started protesting against this brutality. Initially, Mr. Paul Biya, the president for life of La Republique du Cameroun, he thought this would be a temporary problem. Little did he know that the people were tired of intimidation. The people were tired of his brutality. They decided now that they must fight back. When he started killing them in big numbers, they decided to retaliate. They started bearing arms. They started with Dane guns. I mean, guns that are used for hunting in most parts of Africa. These are primitive guns. They can't really do much. But as a symbol of resistance, the people took up arms against this dictator. Now it's over 4 years. The civil war is raging on. How are things going on? In fact, on October 1st, the people decided to restore their independence. The people of Southern Camerouns decided to celebrate on October 1st to show the world that they are proud and they want to fight this government of Mr. Paul Biya. So you can see a lot of the pictures. We'll take you first to Lebialem, to Alo, where you have Major General Ayeke. Major General Ayeke led his people in a parade, and you could see young people, old people marching together in fanfare. They are just happy that they can really express themselves. They were really happy that they will take this freedom to Buea. Okay? Buea basically is the former capital of Southern Camerouns, and this is what these people are yearning for. They want to go back to Buea, where they were leading a life in liberty.
Today, 1st October 2020, here comes the Major General Ayeke, King of the Forest. You can see guerrilla fighters of Lebialem under Major General Ayeke on the lead of the march past here in Alo, Lebialem. You can see General Bright on the command. Over.
Soldier! Tension! East! Tension! Soldier! Ready! 1, 2, 3. Ambazonia, Ambazonia,
Yes, as you can see, here are the women of Alo, 1st October 2020, United Nations. We need your presence. Oh, in Ambazonia, as you can see, here in Alo, the women want to march 1st October 2020. Here are the women of Alo, marching an unstoppable line here in Alo with Major General Ayeke, King of the Forest, on the lead. You can see the women marching, the women of Alo.
Okay, so General Ayeke is just one. You can see a lot of videos, and you see his lieutenants who are really working hard to protect the people. Then you ask yourself, when these people were marching, where were the militia of Paul Biya? Of course, the reality is these people sit in a big group, then they look for a target and just come and attack that target en masse. It's difficult for them to come now to most of the areas in Southern Cameroon because they are afraid that they'll be killed. Okay, the soldiers are scared. In fact, in the Francophone area, most of the soldiers know that Ambazonia is the pit of hell. When you go there, you may not be able to return to East Cameroon alive. So most of the people know that. We've shown you videos of families of soldiers from Mr. Biya's region, especially the Bibi. They have a lot of funerals too, because when they kill them, they get angry and start killing civilians like a sport. Okay? So this is sad. So after Ayeke is not alone, General Ayeke is not alone, you have other guys, like you look at the ADF. The ADF too is a very powerful force. You can also see them marching. They organize a very big march to really show that they are proud Southern Cameroonians. You can see them marching and holding their guns, and you see children also marching. You ask yourself, where are the soldiers of Mr. Paul Biya? They are nowhere to be found. So it's like these people are marching far from the madding crowd of the genocide of Mr. Paul Biya. They are not alone. You also have other groups too. Even the splinter group of Ambazonia, run by Sako Emmanuel, they were also taking action in this celebration. They are really marching also. You see Mr. Sako's guys too are marching. So it's just like nobody wants to be left out in this game. The only people we didn't see this time are people from Field Marshal, but we want to get some videos pretty soon. But those are the videos that we can really show you now of the people marching. Then you also have videos of women. A lot of women too don't want to be left out. The women want to really participating in big numbers. You can see a lot of women marching and talking about the need to be free. They need to take this fight, and they need to get to Buea, which is the former capital of West Cameroon, or what they call Southern Cameroon. Okay? So you see a lot of this happening. But for the action, you also see on ground zero, which is Ambazonia, the people are resisting the Biya regime. But things are not just there. Things are also taking place in Nigeria, which is ground one. You have a lot of the refugees who are like in places like Calabar and other areas in Nigeria near the frontier with Cameroon. They are always protesting, and they too are making their voices heard. Okay? So you can see the refugees in Nigeria also taking action in this movement. Then you also see the people celebrate. Even Sissoco Ayoktabe, the people try to play some of his old videos to make themselves reconnect with their leader. Sissoco may be in jail in La Republique, but even though he's in this prison, the people have not forgotten him. Okay? Out of sight is not out of mind. So Sissoco is still in the minds and hearts of the people. They love him and they just yearn for the day he will be free. And they are happy that he has shown that he's a tough leader who can withstand the dictator of La Republique du Cameroun with Ambazonia. Then the issue to that is discussed this week a whole lot is the issue of school resumption. Do you guys want school to be resumed? That's the debate that has been going on, and we're going to monitor this debate to see if the people really support the idea. So far, some so-called leaders of the Ambazonia movement are making noise on social media that they want schools to resume. But do the people, the grassroots, do they really welcome this decision? This is what we want to know. And we're going to share this information with you when we make our next video. Okay, we think we've shown a lot of light on Ambazonia.
Have you heard the latest healthcare news? There's been a medical programming breakthrough. Let's go to Ali and Ron for more.
Thanks, Seb. A Good Samaritan is offering Alexia HTC, a new EMR EHR to doctors for free. Certainly, this free offer will shake things up in the medical software industry. Alexia HTC is a David pitting itself against the Goliaths, Epic, Cerner, and Meditech, which are old and cost too much money. What happens if you figure out how to build a new EMR EHR on the web for pennies on the dollar? You give it away to the suffering physicians for free.
Want to learn more about how these two powerhouse solutions will help you win more business? Schedule a demo below. In just minutes, Alexia HTC can help you access a patient record, enter an order, write a note, prescribe a medication, generate a charge, and create a super bill. Plus, Alexia Care Corporation, the vendor of the new web application, offers full customer service and training support free of charge. Who can beat that?
So now we want to take you to Angola. Angola. We've covered Angola a lot of times on this show. In fact, we spent a whole lot of time talking about Isabel dos Santos, the daughter of the former president of Angola. We made a major story which showed how corrupt this lady was. The richest African female, she has really amassed a whole lot of wealth by exploiting her father's position as president. We thought corruption was limited to the Dos Santos family. But this week, a lot of Angolans are protesting on the streets against the president, the current president men. They said most of the guys who are working for the president are corrupt and they want them to be dismissed. So this was a major story in Angola. This story was investigated by some Portuguese journalists who discovered that the president's aides are really siphoning a lot of money. They are just corrupt as they claim to be. Okay? So they're very, very corrupt. So the people are really tired of having a bunch of corrupt people. Okay? They just want the president to dismiss these individuals so that the people should see that they've been punished. From Angola now, we're going to move to Guinea. Alpha Conde, he's going ahead with his third term project in Guinea. And already, Guinea has 6 frontiers. I mean, you have 6 countries in Africa that border Guinea. But it looks like 3 of those countries have been blocked. 3 of those borders have been shielded. Okay? So that's what is happening. Why is Alpha Conde doing this? It looks like he's just trying to prevent a lot of movement, people getting in and out until he executes and implements all his devilish plan for a third term agenda. Is this going to be good for Africa? We don't think so. This is going to be another setback for democracy. And we say, we wish Alpha Conde can think straight. But how many dictators in Africa think straight? None of them. When they have power, they feel they can do and undo. And they look at the people like trash. Because the people don't have guns, they feel they can trample on their freedoms. This is sad, but that's the reality of Africa today. And we're happy to bring you this reality as your servants. From Guinea now, we're going to go to La République. La République is a focus of our show today. For the show of today, the major question when you read most of the newspapers, because the guys are afraid, they don't really tell you the main issues. But most of the people in La République, as a protest, we've had the MRC protest of Maurice Kamto, but you also have other people who are really protesting. Then they ask themselves, what has happened to this grand dialogue? The dialogue that Mr. Biya said he has established to bring peace to the Anglophone region. What has happened? After over a year, they've realized that this dialogue was just a sham. It was just a form of theater, a game, okay, to deceive the people. But who are they deceiving? I don't think they are deceiving Anglophones, because from the very beginning, most of the Anglophones who were really instrumental in this movement to restore independence in Ambazonia did not want to participate in this grand dialogue of Mr. Paul Biya. Okay? They did not. They already foresaw that it would be a fiasco. In fact, even though the Prime Minister was chosen from the Anglophone region and was asked to spearhead this movement, the people did not fall for it. It looks like the Anglophones have been deceived a whole lot in the past. This time, they became very wise. And they decided not to become fools again. So they saw that the Grand Dialogue was just a mess and was a big failure. Now, Maurice Kamto, who is the presumptive winner of the election of 2018, he has been putting a lot of pressure on this Biya government because he feels it's incompetent and the government is illegitimate. Because he didn't really win any election, he has been stealing one election after another in this part of the world. He always steals elections and claims that he's a victor. If you open your mouth, he uses the army to crush you. This is basically what the Biya guy has been doing, and the people are now talking about it. Okay? So Maurice Kamto has been under house arrest for quite a few days from, I think, from September the 20th. They've not allowed him to go out, and he's been complaining about it. His rights as a citizen have been violated because the people are just afraid. All Mr. Biya's hangers-ons have been trying to make life difficult for Mr. Maurice Kamto. But he is really determined to really make fun of this dictatorial regime with a cabal of thieves. Okay? When you look at a list that one of you showed us yesterday, you see so many people who are stealing the wealth of Cameroon. Where are they from? They're all the president's men. They're all thieves. What has he done about it? Has he taken them to any court? No, because they work for him. They are his boys. They can steal as much money as they want, and everything will be fine. So are you surprised then that Cameroon's economic situation is really dire? It should not really be that, because this is a country with a lot of prospects, but the prospects have been dimmed. Even the so-called emergence 2035 is just a mirage. It will never happen. We wish the leaders of this country can really stand up to Mr. Paul Biya and tell him to change course and solve the Anglophone problem. The problem is getting out of hand. And as we predict, you see, on this show, we always predict what will happen. Whatever we tell you, that's what happens, because we are very good analysts. Some hosts of shows cannot do what we do because we speak French, and we can always read all the stories in the French papers, and we tell you what is happening. Some of them are limited by the English language. But we read French, and we find out what is happening in the Francophone Africa, and we share it with you. So far, the people are really disgruntled. Okay, to every cloud, there's a silver lining. So don't say, okay, all we're telling you about La République du Cameroun is just gloom and doom. There's a bright story we're going to share with you. There is a young man who had the story of a young man who is a winemaker. His name is Marcel Bibi. Marcel Bibi is a graduate from the School of Agriculture in La Republique du Cameroun. He shows you what young people aspire to do in their country. They want to change their lives, they want to do better. But the environment is so negative, politically, socially, and economically. Okay? But against all the odds, Marcel Bibi is struggling to build a business making wine for the public. And it looks like, if you look at a country like La Republique du Cameroun, they import so much wine from France. They import a lot of wine from France. Now, this young man is showing the way. Out of nothing, he goes to the market and buys fruits. Then it takes these fruits to his mother's house. With his family, they clean these fruits, cut them into pieces. Then they ferment everything into fine wine, white wine, which is very nice. And the wine is called Bibi, after the inventor of the wine. So when you look at this, the guy shows you how he starts his business real small, on a small scale. Then he starts selling, distributing the stuff by himself. Sometimes he can only produce 150 to 200 bottles, say every 2 weeks. Then he tries to sell this around. He doesn't have even the technology to produce this wine en masse. So he does it all in one piece. So we really salute Marcel Bibi. This is what young people should aspire to. Against all the odds, we're asking you to try and change your life. If this were a good government, the government of La République should have been helping Marcel Bibi, but they are not helping Marcel Bibi.
Hey yo, Shay, I thought you was gonna take me to this place so I could get my taxes done. You know I'm trying to buy a new house. What's up?
Let's get it on. If you're searching for a house, call up my man Prince O'Joan, the best in real estate. Take it from your guy Shake. When I say his services are the best in the states where it's born, he even take care of your tax forms, fat refunds. So come get your business done. Consultations, financial organization, fast processing, no waiting. This man is amazing. The Prince.
Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131.
So next, from La République du Cameroun, we'll go to Mali. Mali, we've been covering Mali for almost 3 weeks now. Now Mali has a new president, President Bandao. Bandao now is leading the country. So the military junta has satisfied the requirements of ECOWAS, and even the United States is really happy with the transition. So now there is good news in Mali. So it tells you that when the people protest and fight for their rights, they always win. So thank you, the people of Mali. We are with you and we salute you. From Mali, we're going to move to Nigeria. There are so many stories breaking out in Nigeria, but the most important story, Nigeria turns 60 on October 1st. So Nigeria celebrated its independence from Britain, and we think this occasion was celebrated with a lot of fanfare. You can see President Muhammadu Buhari with the people. You can also see the women celebrating. This was really a great day. Amid the celebration, we also want Nigerians to think. After 60 years of independence, okay, moving from one dictatorship to one failed democratic government, what has the country really done? We think the country has not really achieved much. As much as Nigeria is a giant, Nigeria has not really taken advantage of its resources. Nigeria has a lot of oil, but this oil has not really been leveraged to bring down poverty, okay, to reduce, alleviate poverty in the country. The average Nigerian is still suffering, okay? Corruption is rampant. So the people cannot really benefit from this oil. Then another problem that we see is the Nigerian government, not only the government of Buhari, all the Nigerian government that we've had in the past, they have been unable to diversify the economy. 90% of the production of this country comes from oil. So the economy needs to be diversified so that Nigeria doesn't just depend on oil alone. We know guys like Aliko Dangote are doing a lot in other spheres, but the government needs to encourage more entrepreneurs to diversify the Nigerian economy. If this happens, we think this will really be a lot of good news. Then at the same time too, the issue of insecurity is really rampant in Nigeria. We've heard so many stories of people, a guy who leaves the city, moves to his hometown, then the police kill the guy's son, and the guy was just traumatized because he could not really believe that he left an area where he was afraid of Boko Haram. Now he's in his own hometown. They killed his young son of over 25 years old in cold blood.
I lived in the north up to 12 years. I never lost a finger. I came back here only for somebody to waste my son. There was no war. There was no fight. There was no riot. Not that the boy was involved in any fracas. Not that he was stealing. Not that he was robbing. Just cold-bloodedly, they wasted this boy for me. Oh God. Avenge for me. Avenge his blood. Avenge. The Lord will surely do it for me. The Lord will surely do it for me.
This is really sad. What kind of country is this? What kind of country? We've been complaining about police brutality in the United States of America. But this is also a problem in Nigeria. And we don't know why President Buhari is not even looking at this problem. And the police are a big problem. A second problem of the police is SARS. The guys who do the search your stuff. When you're driving, they have to stop your vehicle, search what you have. They take a lot of bribes. So I think this week, even their chief was really tired of them because they're collecting a lot of bribes and they are making the life of citizens hell. So the people have really been complaining. So police brutality is not limited to the United States. Instead, in Nigeria, it's a serious problem. And we wish President Buhari can pay attention to this problem. We don't really know what he's doing, wearing all those big agbada. Is that what it takes to be president? It's not just wearing agbada. You have to work. Sometimes put that agbada aside and do some work, buddy. Okay, Mr. Buhari, put agbada aside and work. Because it looks like you're just sleeping. There are so many problems that you need to be tackling, but you're not tackling those problems. Okay, the final story on Nigeria, which we really want to share with you, it looks like October basically is an important day for Fumilayo Ransom Kuti, the mother of Fela. I don't know if there's any African who doesn't know Fela Anikulapo Kuti. So the mother was really a pioneer in so many ways. She was a pioneer in so many ways, and people remember her more as a freedom fighter. They remember her as a feminist. So October is a really significant day for her, and most of the papers we saw, even some of the papers from abroad, were really talking about Fumilayo Kuti. Okay, they were really talking about her achievements as a feminist. We love her and would like to celebrate this day with her. And will tell you, if you've not really heard about her, I know you've been listening to Fela's music, but you need to think about the mother. On a sad note, the military beat her up, I think in 1977, to a point that she was thrown from a two-story apartment. She fell and injured herself. The following year, she died, and it was really pitiful. In fact, the son, Fela, sang a lot about his mother's predicament, and we still feel sorry for this family, and we think the Nigerian government has never really atoned for this crime. So this was really like a crime, really a crime that has not really been taken care of. So they need to think about it. So from Nigeria, we move now to Senegal. There was a fire that broke out in a market in Senegal, and we feel sorry for the people of Senegal, and we tell them we wish the Lord can protect them. Then Sierra Leone. We have to talk about Roland Zamora. He's a pastor and he's a minister of a church in Sierra Leone, but he did something good for his people. He built a big well where the people can draw water. It's just like a big tank. We don't really have a lot of time to talk about it, but we want you to see the pictures and the videos of the church and the big tank. A lot of his people are really enjoying this benefit. Their son from America has built this for them. So don't ask what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. So we think Roland Zamora has done something for the people of Sierra Leone, for his community, by building the church and also by doing something practical so that people can have water to bathe and to drink. This is great. From Sierra Leone, we move now to South Africa. South Africa now is reopening. The airlines are beginning to fly. But the other story which we're going to tell you is the story of the Minister of Defense. He used the aircraft to go to Zimbabwe unlawfully. This was not good, okay? So we end the show of today by telling you, watch our show. Thank you very much. May God bless you.
Express Driving School is the place for excitement of fast-track driver education, drug and alcohol testing, driver counseling, bilingual translation. For all your MVA needs, contact us. John F. Abbey, 6480 New Hampshire Avenue Suite, 207B, Tacoma Park, Maryland, 20912. Office phone, 301-270-0018. Cell phone, 240-644-3977. And you can reach us at our website, expressdrivingeducation.com. Medical practice software is too old. Indeed, all the programs are built on MUMPS, technology of the 1950s, and the programs cost too much money. Epic and Cerner cost billions of dollars. Meditech costs thousands of dollars too. In fact, that's why we created AlexiaHTC.com, a new and free EMR/EHR for doctors. AlexiaHTC.com is built for HIPAA. Yes, magical one-screen technology, ease of use, quick charting, amazing e-prescribing, tight labs integration, multi-office difference, because we believe doctors and patients need a break today. Be the first to test drive AlexiaHTC.com. You have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. Act now. Call 240-350-1131. Alexia Care Corporation at AlexiaHTC.com.
Unique Auto Repair. This is a brother from Ghana. His name is Emmanuel Ofori. He has a good business and he repairs cars. He repairs all type of cars. Mercedes, Toyota, Honda, you name it. The brother does it. He repairs everything. So even if you buy a car from the auction and you need to get it fixed, go to Emmanuel Ofori, Unique Auto Repair. He will repair this for you. He's very, very good. He has repaired my cars for me many times, and I love the service. And if you mention my name, Prince Ojong, he will give you even something also.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.